Today, I will be explaining the American manga-inspired movie Alita, Battle Angel, and we all know that manga-inspired movies are always visually stunning and story-rich. Alita, Battle Angel is no exception. At the beginning of the movie, we see a scientist. His name is Dr. Dyson, who is a famous robot expert. He specializes in building cyborg robots. And a cyborg is a type of robot built from both human and mechanical parts, essentially making it a far more powerful machine. Dr. Dyson lives in Iron City. After a devastating war, the Earth was left in ruins, and now, only the people of Iron City survive. While they struggle with poverty, above them floats Salem, a majestic sky city where the residents live in luxury and comfort. Anyway, Dr. Dyson finds a cyborg robot while scavenging through the junkyard, where all the garbage from Salem is dumped. This robot's heart and brain are still functioning, which is why Dr. Dyson brings it to his own lab and repairs it by giving it a completely new body. When the robot regains consciousness, it becomes clear that it has no memory at all, not even the memory of its own name. However, the robot becomes extremely happy after receiving its new body, and the body that was used to repair the robot was actually created by Dr. Dyson for his own daughter, because his daughter had to move around in a wheelchair. That is why Dr. Dyson, despite being a resident of Salem, came down to Iron City to treat his daughter. But sadly, one day, a cyborg created by Dr. Dyson himself came to steal drugs and ended up killing Dr. Dyson's daughter. Because of this, Dr. Dyson's wife became furious, left him, and started working with Victor. Victor runs a motorball game here, and whoever wins this game gets a ticket to the dream city of Salem. This Vector has a strong connection with Nova, the chief scientist of Salem, and that is, Vector illegally supplies all the cyborgs' bodies from Iron City, whether alive or dead, to Nova. With those bodies, Salem's scientist Nova continues to conduct various types of research. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Dr. Dyson's wife joins forces with Vector once again, hoping to return to Salem. Anyway, after receiving her new body, the robot slowly gets up from the bed and begins to walk step by step, feeling overjoyed and full of excitement. And since she couldn't remember her own name, Dr. Dyson decided to name her Alita, which was the name of his late daughter. While exploring the unfamiliar streets of Iron City, Alita meets a boy named Hugo, and the two quickly become very good friends. Later, Hugo plays motorball with his friends while Alita watches from the sidelines, completely fascinated and amazed as she enjoys their game. When Hugo offers her to join the game, Alita doesn't hesitate for even a moment and immediately starts playing with them. At first, Alita could not keep up with them at all, so Hugo's friend scored the very first point. This made Hugo's friend start celebrating, and at the same time, he teased Alita a little. This made Alita extremely frustrated, and she quickly got ready for the next round. As soon as the ball hit the field, everyone started running. Then we witnessed Alita's incredible movements in a flash. She outpaced her opponents and scored a point. After the game ended, Hugo offered to drop Alita home. On the way, he gave her a piece of chocolate. The moment Alita tasted it, she loved it so much that she said this is even better than she imagined, and from now on, it's going to be her favorite food. Just then, a hunter warrior named Zapin arrived there, searching for someone. He was a bounty hunter who attacked cyborgs for money. Alita watched him very closely, observing his every move. The next day, Hugo took Alita to one of his favorite spots, a place he loved the most. From there, the entire city could be seen clearly, and the view was absolutely beautiful. At the same time, Hugo told Alita to look up. From there, Alita could clearly see the floating city, Salem, appearing so close above her. Hugo sat there and told Alita that he had only one dream, to become a resident of that floating city. After that, we see an unknown illegal gang in the city murdering young women, and a reward of $20,000 has been announced for capturing that gang. This is something Alita also learns about. There was no proper administrative system in the city, yet a few bounty warriors were assigned from Salem. Their job was to eliminate all criminals in Iron City and submit their severed heads as proof. One night, Dr. Dyson secretly sneaked into the house very late, which Alita noticed. She also saw that Dr. Dyson's hands were completely covered in blood. This made Alita suspect that the group killing the girls, maybe Dr. Dyson was one of them. Later that night, when Dr. Dyson went out alone, Alita secretly followed him out of suspicion. Alita sees Dr. Dyson take a weapon out of a box and get ready to attack a person, approaching from across the street. Just then, Alita jumps down in front of Dr. Dyson and stops him. But within moments, Alita's suspicion is proven wrong as 3 terrifying cyborgs appear, gathered together to kill them. And it turns out that Dr. Dyson had gone there only to eliminate these criminal cyborgs. Right then, one of the cyborgs charges at Alita with incredible speed. Alita instantly reacts like a skilled warrior and begins to fight. In just a brief moment, she manages to defeat 2 of the cyborgs. Even the monstrous-looking cyborg named Gruishka engages in battle with her, but during the fight, he loses one of his arms. Before fleeing the scene, he threatens Alita with a warning. Dr. Dyson was quite surprised to see Alita suddenly transform into such a skilled warrior. Meanwhile, as Alita was fighting, she started seeing some flashbacks from her past, scenes where she was desperately battling, alongside a group of warriors on the planet Mars. Anyway, after that, Alita realizes that Dr. Dyson is not a criminal, but actually a bounty hunter. He runs his lab and makes a living by collecting the severed heads of criminals as payment. And then we see the injured Gruishka, hurt by Alita, appear directly at Vector's lab. It becomes even clearer that this deadly cyborg kills others and delivers their severed heads to Vector, who sells them to Zalem for money. The chief scientist of Zalem, Nova, uses those heads for his research. And then, seeing a massive monster like Gruishka in such a miserable state, Vector is completely shocked. That's when Vector learns that it was the girl staying with Dr. Dyson, Alita, who killed 2 of the cyborgs and even caused Gruishka to lose one of his arms. And all of this is also learned by Nova, the scientist from Zalem. He instructs Vector to eliminate Alita at any cost. Nova even promises that if they succeed in killing Alita, Dr. Dyson's wife, Chirin, will be allowed to return to Zalem. And when Nova, the scientist from Zalem, finds out everything just like Vector did, he orders Vector to kill Alita at any cost. He also promises that if they succeed in killing Alita, Dr. Dyson's wife, Chirin, will be allowed to return to Zalem. Because of this, Chirin becomes deeply focused on upgrading Gruishka once again. She asks Dr. Dyson to help with the work, but he refuses, knowing very well that Vector was in no way a good person. Then we see that Hugo, along with his friends, had actually been working under Vector for a long time. Hugo and his friends would forcibly take these parts from other cyborgs and deliver them to Vector. Various components were needed to upgrade Gruishka, and Hugo along with his friends attacked other cyborgs, forcibly taking those parts from them. And Hugo had only one reason for doing all this. He believed that if he kept helping Vector like this, one day Vector might send him to Zalem. Then Hugo and his friends take Alita to explore a forest where they show her an old, abandoned spacecraft. Seeing it sparks an unknown curiosity in her, and she dives into the water, swimming inside the ship. After a while, she comes back carrying an extraordinary, highly advanced cyborg body, which leaves everyone there completely astonished. When Dr. Dyson sees the body, he immediately realizes that it is a combat cyborg body. Upon hearing this, Alita starts pleading with Dr. Dyson, requesting him to upgrade her with that body so she can fight against crime. When Alita fights, she can recall fragments of her deepest memories. That's why, in her heart, she longs to live as a warrior and recover her lost memories through battle. However, Dr. Dyson still refuses to upgrade Alita with that body, as he now loves her like his own daughter. He doesn't want her getting involved in any battles or facing any kind of danger. Realizing this, Alita becomes angry and immediately sets her sights on joining the bounty hunters, so she can live through combat and recover her lost memories. After becoming a bounty hunter, Alita heads straight to the bounty hunter's bar and asks everyone there to help her take down Gruishka. But no one agrees to her proposal because there was still no bounty announced for killing Gruishka. At that moment, Zapin begins mocking and belittling Alita in various ways. Ignoring his words, Alita directly challenges him to a fight, and eventually, Zapin is defeated by her. After that, when no one listens to her, Alita starts challenging everyone. and soon a massive fight breaks out with all of them against her. Alita begins defeating everyone one by one, and it seems that none of the bounty hunters present can match her skills. In the middle of this chaos, the monstrous Gruishka suddenly arrives. Vector had modified his body in such a way that defeating him now seemed almost impossible. Even then, Alita doesn't panic and fearlessly begins to fight with unshakable courage. Soon, Gruishka moves to a deserted spot on the ground, and Alita tracks him down, starting the battle once again. But at one point, Gruishka strikes with his blade-like arm, cutting off one of Alita's arms and both of her legs. In the meantime, Dr. Dyson arrives there along with another bounty hunter, which forces Gruishka to flee the scene. With no other choice, Dr. Dyson takes Alita to his lab and upgrades her using that extraordinary body she had brought from the spacecraft. This time, Alita becomes incredibly powerful, and Dr. Dyson advises her to use such extraordinary strength for a good purpose. Through all of this, Vector realizes very clearly that Alita is no ordinary force, and if he wants to kill her, he will need an entirely different plan. So after much planning, he organizes a motorball match, a deadly game where he secretly buys off all the players, instructing them to eliminate Alita during the game no matter what. And to get Alita to join the game, Vector uses Hugo to convince her. He hides the truth from Hugo and instead tells him that if Alita wins the match, both of them will be sent to Zalem. The game begins and all the players enter the arena before Alita. Dr. Dyson, watching from the stands, quickly realizes that none of them are real players. They're all hired hunter warriors by Vector, sent onto the field with one goal, to harm or kill Alita. So Dr. Dyson starts searching all over to warn Alita and tries to talk to her, but he just can't reach her in time. Meanwhile, Alita also enters the arena, ready for the game. Surrounded by a huge crowd, Alita starts enjoying the excitement. But just before the game begins, Dr. Dyson's urgent phone call somehow reaches her. On the call, he warns her, saying, "You need to get out of there right now. They've all come with a plan to kill you." Right then, the game begins. But instead of running or showing fear, Alita steps in with full confidence and starts playing. One by one, she takes down every player, and the entire arena erupts in cheers and excitement. Meanwhile, on the field, all the players break the rules and gang up on her, doing everything they can to kill her. Meanwhile, Hugo tells his friends that he will no longer take part in looting cyborgs for parts. Just then, Zapin shows up, and in front of everyone, he kills Hugo's friend along with another cyborg by slicing off their heads, then frames Hugo for the murders. As a result, a bounty is immediately placed on Hugo's head, and Zapin begins attacking him without hesitation as a bounty hunter. Killing a wanted criminal with a price on their head is not considered a crime. Right after that, Hugo starts running for his life, with Zapin chasing closely behind. During the escape, Hugo calls Alita and tells her everything. Hearing this, Alita immediately leaves the arena in the middle of the game to save him. While running, they stay in contact over the phone and eventually reunite. But right then, Zapin also arrives at the scene, ready to kill Hugo. As Alita tries to save Hugo, Zapin declares that Hugo is a criminal, and as a bounty hunter, it's his duty to eliminate him. When Alita questions this, Hugo explains that he hasn't killed anyone, and that he's being framed. But before they can act, Zapin suddenly strikes Hugo with his blade, severely injuring him. Alita somehow escapes with Hugo from the scene, even though Hugo isn't a criminal. The fact that he's being forced to die is something Alita simply couldn't accept, and just then, Chiron arrives at the spot and sees them both. Seeing Alita in such a state, Chiron is reminded of her own daughter, so instead of harming them, she tells Alita that if Hugo's severed head can somehow be delivered alive to Dr. Dyson, then there's a chance he might be able to save Hugo by attaching his head to a cyborg body. That's why Alita connects Hugo's severed head to her own heart, using it to keep him alive, and starts rushing toward Dr. Dyson to try and save him. But on the way, it's revealed that a group of bounty hunters were already waiting for them, including Zapin. However, the moment they see Hugo's severed head, all the bounty hunters calm down, assuming that Alita herself has killed him and now has every right to claim the prize money by. turning in the head. But Zapin suspects something is off and senses a trick, so he tries to forcibly take Hugo's head from Alita. This enrages her, and she grabs Zapin's own blade, slashes his face with it, and storms off from there. After that, Alita finally reaches Dr. Dyson with Hugo's severed head. Dr. Dyson immediately begins trying to revive Hugo by attaching his head to a cyborg body. While doing so, he tells Alita that everything Hugo had done until now was only to reach Salem, but the harsh truth is, no one from Iron City can ever actually go to Salem. Vector and Nova are actually fooling everyone by tempting them with the dream of going to Salem. In reality, they lure people in with false hope and then harvest the body parts of cyborgs. These stolen parts are then used by Nova to continue his twisted research experiments. Hearing all this, Alita immediately rushes to confront Vector, instead of hiding the truth. Vector openly shows her the severed parts of Dr. Dyson's wife's body, which were all prepared to be sent to Nova. Gruishka appears there once again, and a fierce battle breaks out between them. In the end, Alita slices Gruishka into 2 pieces. Meanwhile, Nova uses his technology to possess Vector's body and starts speaking to Alita through him. Alita then kills Vector with her blade and tells Nova, "Very soon, I'll be seeing you." Just then, Dr. Dyson calls Alita and informs her that Hugo has regained consciousness, and after waking up, he has started climbing towards Salem. Without wasting any time, Alita rushes to stop Hugo. At that moment, Hugo was climbing towards Salem using the giant transport tubes. Alita keeps pleading with him again and again to come back down. Nova was watching everything from Salem, calmly observing the situation. Then, in an attempt to kill them, he launches a sharp metallic ring down from above. The deadly ring strikes Hugo, slicing his body into pieces. Alita immediately thrusts her sword into the tube and hangs on, desperately trying to grab hold of Hugo's falling body. Despite giving it her all, Alita is unable to save him. In the end, as Hugo slips away from her grasp, Alita breaks down into tears, devastated and heartbroken. And in the final scene of the movie, we see that Alita has now become a true star in the motorball tournament. The crowd cheers wildly, mesmerized by her incredible skills and performance. Holding her sword high, Alita points it toward Salem and stares fiercely in that direction, her eyes filled with determination. At the same moment, Nova, from the heights of Salem, watches Alita silently. With this powerful and emotional standoff between them, the beautiful movie comes to an end. After watching this ending scene, we can understand that a second part is on its way. I'll be back soon with the explanation of the next movie. Until then, stay well and healthy. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.